We'll get right to questions. We'll start with Joe Bettner, the Norman transcript, and then we'll go to Eric Bailey. Joe?
Hey, Brayden. Just after all the time you waited to, come back from injury, you get back into a game, and then to have this kind of even further delay. How challenging, I guess, from a mental aspect, has these past few months been for you as far as coming back from the injury and now dealing with the COVID outbreak on the team?
It's been challenging, but I've always been a glass half full type of guy, and I just try to look at the better things. And when I was hurt, made strides to just come back and try to be better than ever. And we can't really control these things, so I just think that we just try to make the most out of it and just keep on trucking.
Appreciate it.
Okay, Eric Bailey, Tulsa Whirl, and then Jason Kersey.
Hey, Brayden, Lincoln just told us that Coach Stoops took part in practice today. What was it like seeing him on the practice field? I know you've probably seen him around campus, around the facility, but what was it like having him on the practice field?
It's great. I mean, anytime you get to have a legend come back and OU legend come back and help out with the team, it's great. I mean, it's obviously I wasn't here when he was coaching, so it's cool to see him come back and be a part of that. So I mean, it's great.
Thanks, Brayden.
Okay, Jason Kersey, The Athletic, and then Ryan Aber.
Hey, Brayden. Can you kind of take us through what last week was like for you guys, finding out in the middle of the week you wouldn't be playing? How disappointing that was for you guys, and how have you approached the last 5 or 6 days?
Yeah, it's tough. Everybody wants to play. I mean, that's, why we're in this. That's why we decided to, play this year. But, I mean, as a team, we've just kind of, just moved past it. And so what, now what type of deal. And now we got to get ready for the next game, and that's what we're going to do. We're excited to play this next game, and can't wait to get back up there to see West Virginia. Get back up there to see West Virginia on the 12th.
Thanks, Brayden.
Okay, Ryan Aber, the Oklahoman, and then Kerry Murdoch.
Yeah, Brayden, even though you said, like you said, that you were sort of moving on from it, was yesterday or the testing, I guess, Sunday, and then will the testing, the other 2 rounds later this week, be a moment of anxiety for you and for your team to figure out if you are going to be able to play on Saturday?
Like I said, it's kind of a so what, now what type of thing. I mean, we're going to prepare as we're playing, and that's our intent, and that's what we think is going to happen. So, I mean, there's not really any anxiety. We're just ready to play. And, hopefully the tests come out, whatever, but we got all we need in that room or in our room, and that's that.
Appreciate it, Brayden.
Yep.
Kerry Murdoch with Sooner Scoop and WWLS, and then John Hoover.
Brayden, Lincoln told us that, this is hit all aspects of the program, support staff even. He mentioned that one group of support staff was almost completely wiped out. I mean, what is it like as a player? You're used to maybe like teammates being out because of this, but what's it like seeing, assistants and support staff and guys that are just, going through this now along with you guys?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough on everybody, but that's just the reality of the game today and this year. And hopefully we could just get in there and make those guys proud. Play for them or whatever the case may be. But yeah, it's tough. It's affecting everybody. But like I said, it's just part of the deal this year.
Thanks, Brayden.
Yes, sir.
John Hoover with SI Sooners, and then James Hale.
Hey, Brayden, I wonder if you could kind of maybe summarize or encapsulate your feelings of getting on the field finally against Oklahoma State, catching that pass early, making a contribution. I mean, you looked, just the body language that we saw out there on the field, looked like you were really having a good time.
Oh, yeah, I had a blast. The 2 weeks ago. It was great to be back on the field, man. It was a hard time for me not being on the field. I had never missed a game before that. So, that was a little bit different for me. But I had a blast. I was having fun being out there with my teammates. Every game I almost did or almost shed tears when I was out. It was really hard for me because I just love ball. But it was so great being out there with my guys. I love them boys. I love our coaching staff. And just being out there, being able to contribute to a win just meant the world to me.
Did you miss sitting at home tweeting during the game?
That was a fun aspect about it, but I think I'll leave that alone for now. I'm fine playing the game instead of tweeting at home.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, James Hale, KREF, and then Dean Blevins.
Brayden, you guys have been very resilient on offense this year. When you were out a few games, well, somebody stepped up. You lose your great tight end, and all of a sudden, boom, somebody steps up. You've lost receivers. Guys step up. What does it say about this offense that you have so much personnel and depth, and it's so competitive that you always have an answer, it seems like, even when a guy, that you think is, indispensable, but, you guys step up and make plays.
Kind of like you said, it's just we're very deep and we're a tough group. I mean, everybody knows that like going into the season, there's so much competition, but we know that your number can be called at any time. And when your number is called, you got to make plays. And that's the beauty of our offense. There's so many different guys, so much talent around there that we could call anybody's different number. We could lose a guy. Unfortunately, we hate having that happen, but we could lose a guy and be just as good,
Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.
Dean Blevins, KWTV, and then Brandon Drum.
Yeah, I'm wondering about the focus of the team. It's so easy to become distracted with these new outbreaks and games being postponed and then 5 days away. You guys are making the climb, as you talk about, and things are going so well for you. Is there any concern about losing that momentum or anything within the team that you guys are doing to make sure you stay on task?
I think Coach Riley does a good job of keeping us locked in, but honestly, just being around players and, all of our different guys, we're a very locked in group right now. We have a goal that we set at the beginning of the year, and we're striving towards that goal, and we're not going to let anything derail us right now. So we're a very locked in group, and it's been all focused. Even though there's a lot of distractions, through the past couple weeks, we're just really locked in, and it's been like that all year long.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Brandon Drum, OU Insider, and then Parker Thune.
Yeah, you went through an injury issue earlier this year. Struggled to come back a bit. How has the team, or just your position group in general, rallied around Austin Stogner and the situation he's going through?
Oh yeah, everybody loves Stog, and we, like I've said in the previous interview, that our group is very tight knit. I mean, when we heard that he's going through what he's going through, we all rallied behind him and made sure he was good and everything. And it's unfortunate, but it's next man up mentality. We're gonna keep on loving him. He's supporting us like nobody, like we've never seen, and we're just gonna keep on going and make sure that we hold it down until he comes back.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go to Parker Thune with SI Sooners, and then Lee Benson.
Yeah, Brayden, I've asked Jeremiah about this. I've asked Austin about this. I haven't gotten the chance to ask you about this, but Mikey Henderson, doing what he's been able to do as a true freshman, how impressed have you been with him, and what's he like just as an individual, getting to work in such close proximity with him? What stands out about Mikey?
I love that kid, man. From day one, you could tell he was special. A lot of talent, very hard worker. I mean, reminds me of a young me. I mean, I love that kid. But like I said, it's being able to work with all those guys. I mean, just the talent in that room is just crazy. But being able to see what he can do as a freshman and the different ways we can use him, just because all of our body types are so different, is really been impressive to me.
Okay, time for one more. Let's go to Lee Benson with KWTV.
Hey, Brayden, I know you've been kind of banged up and haven't had the full experience of, prepping for each game every week, but this has been a weird year where you guys have had a lot of off weeks, bye weeks, kind of more than normal. And then, of course, last week was not supposed to be an off week, but then it was. I was curious, how did last week kind of differ from the other more planned out bye weeks? And then Coach Riley mentioned yesterday about how he hadn't really been able to see you guys, since the facility was shut down. So how do you and your teammates best maximize those 5 days where you weren't able to go into the facility? And I'm assuming you really weren't supposed to even do a whole lot of things around each other. How do you maximize that time?
Yeah, it's been rough not, being in the facility, but at the end of the day, it's just us holding each other accountable. You know what I'm saying? Just making sure it's sending the text, making sure everybody is locked into what they're doing, getting ready for next week. It wasn't, really a bye week for us. It was a work week. Everything continues. So what, now what? And just make sure everybody held each other accountable. And that's how the week went, really.